I am tearing up.
I just about screamed right now, and I'm not even there.
Now that's inspirational, Natalie. I feel inspired today.
I could be here for another hour.
And then I was talking to my class. There were only 2 of us, and the other guy was in the hospital. So here I am.
And I always go, he winds up homeless on the street. It's my fault.
Yeah, now you sound like my wife.
And you can get off.
I don't know. Call it Google. Or call it Google.
Yeah. We're in control. Alexa, how did you get across?
Paul, I cut you off earlier. What were you going to say?
What?
Dang it! Don't do that to me, Paul. Don't do that to me, man.
I don't know what got into my head, but I thought this thought, if I'm working year round, I might as well get paid year round.
Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education and Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and subscribe today. Now, it's time to get started with Sweet Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sweet Talk, our illustrious podcast that we have every week. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Paul Dickey from Continuing Education Workforce Training at Idaho State University. And again, my new co-host who's been with us for a few episodes now, Gary Salazar, Director of Continuing Education Workforce Training. Gary, how are you today?
Hey, Paul, I'm good. Thank you for checking in. Appreciate all that. It's nice to be back, too.
Yeah. So we have a really a great guest with us today, something that connects with one of our upcoming events.
Oh, you're so right. We have this construction combine event coming up, which has taken off here in Pocatello, and it's rolled around the state. And we're so happy to have a Home Depot Foundation representative, Ryan Braddy. He is the Foundation Field Manager for the Western Division of Home Depot, and he's agreed to join us today, and we can talk about construction combine and other great initiatives that Home Depot has going on for veterans. So it's real exciting to have you here, Ryan. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
It's my pleasure. Good to be here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hey, if it's okay, let me jump in, Paul, and give a little history of what the construction combine is. It'll set up a little bit of the groundwork for us here. For those of you who've not heard about our construction combine, and we've certainly had other guests on here, this is an event that started with a small idea by one of our business consultants, Scott Stevens. He took this when he went out and talked to contractors around our area and said, we need workforce. And he came back and started coming up with some sketches on it. And Construction Combine was built based on something you see in National League football now, the Combine, of course. And he took this thing, he led it up and worked with Home Depot. They have a great store manager, Brad Landon over there. And those two guys partnered together and had our first one in 2018, I think it was, Paul. And
2017.
Was it 17? Oh my gosh, yeah. Much further. And it just took off. It was a way to bring some of our contractors in, invite some public, the high schools, locals in to learn us some basics about construction, and a 2-day event where first day is all learning, and the second day they built some sheds, and that's an amazing thing to see. Home Depot gets a chance to look over because it's in their parking lot, and that's awesome. Contractors are chipping in, the whole community comes out, and you see all these adults and kids out there working. And on day 2, at the culmination of the event, we watch those sheds be turned over to some of our local veterans, and that's a cool part to this event. And that only comes about because of the willingness of Home Depot to have partnered with us. They certainly fund that event with a lot of money through their volunteers. And it was even better. And Ryan, you haven't probably heard me tell you this, but what's even better about this thing is this project, this little event, it's got legs. It took off around the state now. Here in Idaho, they do this thing. I call it, construction combine season, but there's like 6 events that are going on all around the state at different times. And they're all doing the same thing, and they end up with some sheds for veterans, and that's awesome. So for me, it's the best blending of industry, the construction industry. It's the best blending of education and community all coming together. And thank you so much, for being a part of this thing. Paul, that's the setup here, and You've done a big part of this too. I've got to give you credit. You filmed it, you edited stuff for us. The last time you did drone flyovers, put a great video together, and we've been able to shop that video out to a lot of our people who participated, a lot of donors, a lot of businesses, and AGC, National Guard, Home Depot, and others. We try to feature everybody in those things, and you've been very special in helping us do that, Paul. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. And, having been there from the first event and filming it, because that means I get to walk through all day long and film all the stations and all the participants and also our community partners. And so from the very beginning, I was able to witness Home Depot's involvement in this event. And it is monumental. I mean, Home Depot is such a tremendous partner in this. Brad Landon, the manager of the Chubbuck location, is just committed to this event and to the helping veterans with the building of these sheds. And again, he's just one small part of the Home Depot commitment to this. Isn't that right, Ryan?
Absolutely. So Brad is one of our community captains. He manages all of our volunteer efforts and community relations for his district, which is a grouping of about 10 stores. And I know that he's been integral to the partnership and then the growth of that event as well. So, Brad's involvement in the first combine, Gary, to your point, has helped it grow and expanded our partnership. I know that, we've had 3 grants go out in the past week and a half to combines happening. Obviously yours coming up on the 30th, and then there's another one in Meridian on the April 8th, and then another one in Sandpoint, Idaho, partnering with the local high school. So it's just been phenomenal to see this, like you said, grow legs and increase that partnership. What I love about these events is how many different people they bring together. Local contractors, our store associates, our young people, educational institutions. It's a great community effort, and it takes so many people to make these events happen. And it hits on so many of our priorities at the Home Depot Foundation that we're privileged to be involved.
Yeah, that was great. And you said it all, and you said it so right. Brad, when on that first one, we did that on one side of the parking lot, but it's grown, and now it's on the other side of the parking lot. But I remember Brad helping out some of the other store managers when this thing started to get known, and they'd say, "What is this?" And he'd have to go explain it to them. I know he traveled and he helped them put some of that stuff on. He's been phenomenal, and Lynn Fran, who's been helping him out over there, has just been phenomenal. Lynn recently just completed the list of the veterans that we're going to give our sheds to from this event. So that's a team effort, just them and all store volunteers. I can't say enough. We can't say enough of what they have done here, and they've been so supportive of our community and of this event. So thank you for that. Ryan, we wanted to have you out here, I think, once before. I think COVID got in the way and we had to cancel that event. But aren't you going to the event in Meridian or Boise when that happens this year?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about that. I'll be coming out to that event. And you're right, that was supposed to be my next event that I was going to attend right before the pandemic started. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there and seeing one of these in person. I've really enjoyed seeing the photos and videos after the event, but it's going to be great to experience one in person.
That is so neat. And you're going to love that one. I mean, it's a much more rural area down there, but I've been hearing good things about what's going on. And our National Guard, those guys have caught fire with this event. Obviously it's great for recruiting for them, obviously. But, the guys who lead in the National Guard are some of our leaders here on teaching too. Sean Edwards, who heads up Idaho's marketing efforts for the Guard, is also one of the guys who builds. And so he's going to be out there. You're going to meet him. You're going to meet a whole bunch of really enthusiastic people. I'm excited that you get to go there. Scott's going out there, Paul. He's going to be at that one as well. I won't make that one, but you guys are going to have a great time. You'll see a phenomenal event in progress. Hey, as long as we're talking about progress and supporting the events here, Ryan, Home Depot Foundation, I mean, for our audience here, would you mind sharing a few things about the Home Depot Foundation and what it does, and in light with what it's doing with our veterans too?
Absolutely. So starting in 2011, our primary mission became improving the homes and lives of our U.S. veterans. And at that time, we made a commitment to invest $250 million in veteran causes by 2020. We met that goal about 2 years early and upped it to $500 million by 2025. And I'm thrilled to say that we're past the $400 million mark, and it's only the beginning of 2022. So, but we've either improved or had a hand in helping build over 50,000 homes for veterans, providing critical home repairs for elderly veterans that need a wheelchair ramp built or need repairs on their homes, and also working with a variety of nonprofit partners across the country to build housing for homeless veterans to get them off the streets. And we've been thrilled to see the number of homeless veterans over the past decade decrease by over half, and we're very happy that we were able to play a small part in that.
A small part indeed. My gosh, that is awesome. That's huge.
Yes.
As we do see, everywhere we go. When I say we, I mean collectively when we travel, we see homeless all around our country. And there's a portion of them that are veterans too, and they do need that help. It's so nice to see that. Right here in Pocatello, we have the Military Affairs Committee, comprised of so many different people from the community, and they help our veterans wherever they can. They are very keen, by the way, they were very keen in this event and providing some names for us for some of the shed giveaways that we're going to do. So we're going to probably capture a little bit of that on video when we do the presentation on the second day of our event. But it just goes back to show you, just like I think Home Depot is so cool in talking about the teamwork that it takes, to run a store, the teamwork it takes to do these projects, in this community, as in the community you're going to watch, Meridian, there's a lot of people that go into these things and they want to do that. Last year, you're not aware of this, but last year when we did this event, we had our mayors talking. And, the mayors and city councils here were so positive about this event and what it does in contributing to others. You're going to see the same thing everywhere else. If you were to attend every single one of these events around the state, I guarantee you'd get that same feeling from every one of them. You can go back and talk to the foundation and say, look what those guys are doing there in Idaho, and you'd be right on. So thank you for coming out and doing that. Hey, isn't there some kind of another program that you're doing there in the foundation? What was it? Pros? Something with pros?
Yeah, so it's called our Path to Pro program. Yeah. As I said before, what I love about these construction combines is that they hit on so many of our strategic priorities. Obviously, first and foremost is helping veterans. But number two, one of our core values is giving back. So having our associates able to volunteer their time to help set up for the event, identify those veterans, help coordinate the delivery, and then clean up after the event is over. But then, this new Path to Pro program that we started back in 2018 aims to give over 50,000 people exposure to trades training to help fill the skilled labor gap that continues to grow in this country. There are over 300,000 job openings for electricians, HVAC techs, carpenters, plumbers, you name it. And every day, more people are leaving those fields than are entering. And so we have to do something to change that. And Path to Pro is our contribution to that effort. And we've committed $50 million to that cause over the first 10 years of the program. And thus far, we are engaging with both military installations, connecting service members that are getting ready to separate from the military and giving them an opportunity to have 6 weeks of classroom and then 6 weeks of on-hand training. And then we're also partnering with, now we're up to 250 schools, giving 11th and 12th graders exposure to a skilled trade in hopes that they will pursue that as a career. And, part of this is trying to change the narrative around some of these fields. For whatever reason, it's thought of in some ways as a backup plan, right? But we all know that that's not a healthy way to look at it. These fields provide you with the ability to have a very successful career, make good money, and for the entrepreneurs out there, potentially grow your own business. And so part of the changing that narrative is getting more people exposure to those fields. And we're very proud of what we've accomplished so far through the Path to Pro program.
You are so right, Ryan. One of my other duties here is I coordinate the apprenticeship program. And those are the main three trades of the plumbing, carpentry, and plumbing, electrical, and HVAC technician. And you're right. Young people deserve another pathway to a career. So many years that they were told college is the only path to take. And to be perfectly frank, not every young person's path is college. And should they be stymied by that? Should the only option they have is to, flip burgers somewhere? No, they should have an option for another career path, a very successful career path that can provide for them and their families for a lifetime.
Absolutely. Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, I like that you're offering that at some of the military bases or involving the exiting veterans who are coming out of active duty service, because that does give them that alternate path, and sometimes even just exiting service, which is a unique role in itself. Maybe they need a time to depressurize a little bit. Let's go into a different field for a while. Let's try that. This offers them that opportunity. Do you remember which military bases, or one or two, are there some out here in the West that you're offering this program at?
So I know, I don't remember all 10, but I know that we are active on Fort Carson in Colorado and Camp Pendleton in Southern California.
Okay.
I can get you the full list later, but those are the two that I've had the privilege of actually going on base and seeing that program in action.
That's awesome. Fort Carson in Colorado Springs, Pendleton out in Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps out in California, close to San Diego, I think. Really nice bases out there. We have a Mountain Home Air Force Base not too far from us, so that'd be kind of cool to get out to. And then south of us in Salt Lake City, we have Hill Air Force Base. So if there's an opportunity, man, or if you need an introduction, we'll work on that for you and see if we can get that started out there. That is so cool. Hey, I want to bring up one thing that this is a little known. In fact, Paul may remember this, but the Construction Combine has gotten a couple of awards. One was here in Idaho, they have an educational conferencing for teachers. They called it REACH, and now it's been renamed Connect. But during the one that happened after we did our first Combine, they recognized the Combine as one of those exemplary programs. And in fact, Scott Stevens was there, and he got us $2,000 to put towards the next Combine, which was really very nice. But that was so good that the state saw the potential in this event, after that one. And then the second award and recognition we get, Paul, I think you were there.
I filmed it.
One of our congressmen came down and talked here at Idaho State University and talked about the Construction Combine and what it did for the community, and has put the Construction Combine with Home Depot into the congressional record. So, and I don't know if you guys are aware of that. I didn't know, what it meant at the time, but that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That means that somebody's taken note. That means that somebody thinks this is important enough to say, good for you all for doing this for the community, for the state, and Home Depot shared in that. Brad, was that?
Yeah. Brad was there and to receive that award.
I believe Brad was specifically mentioned by name in that. So if you don't know this, you need to go ask him about that. And I think I gave him a copy of that sucker too. So check in with him on that one. And Home Depot has every right to be proud of that work and that initiative he took. So when I say thank you to Home Depot, it's to that whole Home Depot team. That is awesome.
Yeah, I have to echo that as well. Working at the Combine every single year, that Home Depot team is just an impressive selection of people. Brad, of course, but it's his team as well. Every single one of those team members were committed to that event and to make sure that it was successful throughout and ended with those veterans getting those sheds, and also they were there doing the cleanup afterwards. That's the one thing I have to say. They're the first ones there, and they're the last ones to leave. Just thank you so much for Home Depot's commitment, Ryan.
Yeah, we're tremendously proud of our associates who not only for construction combines, but for hundreds, if not thousands of projects every year, give of their time in addition to the hours they're working in the stores to get back to their communities, to local schools, to veterans. There's so many different ways that we give back to our community, and that all starts with associates who are willing to give their time and their talents to some great causes.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh shoot, how's that for timing? The timer's going off. Before we go away, I got to say something. I was going to. I had a meeting about a year and a half ago out in town with the public, and they asked me at the time. Said, "What is your favorite store here?" And they said, "Which one is your favorite Home Depot store in the state?" And I go, "Well, I'm kind of partial. Got to be the one here, Pocatello." And they thought maybe I'd be a little bit more broader, but no, Pocatello's got a great store, and they do a great job for us. That was our timer. Ryan, and normally we start wrapping it up at this point. I'd like to say if there's anything you wanted to say, any last pieces of information you want to put out, this would be your opportunity, and then we're going to close this out. Is there anything you'd like to tell the audience?
Well, yeah, I do want to mention that, this is at the end of the day, we talked about the connection to Path to Pro and the connection to veterans. For us, this is really a Team Depot effort, and Team Depot refers to any time where our associates get out in the community and volunteer. So for your audience out there, if they're interested in organizing a community volunteer project and they would like the Home Depot to be involved, then please reach out to your local store and ask to speak to their community captain. And if the store agrees to take on the project, then you may be eligible for a Team Depot grant, which is what we are funding the combines through to help support your project. And it's part of our core value to give back, and something that we are doing throughout the country every single day.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Paul, thanks for doing this. Our guest today, everybody's been Ryan Braddy from Home Depot, Western Field Division Manager of the Foundation. He's been exemplary, taking time to come out here and do this with us. He's going to be joining us out here in the state later on in Boise and Meridian Construction Combine. I look forward to connecting with you in person one day. Ryan, thank you to Home Depot and the Foundation for all the terrific work you've been doing with our veterans and for contributing to this amazing event. Paul, you want to go ahead and close this out?
Yeah, we're going to close this out. Again, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us and your commitment and the commitment of everyone at Home Depot. I really appreciate it. Gary, thank you so much for joining me today. You're starting to fit into this co-host slot pretty well, I think.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. I gotta catch up with you on the banner.
I know. So if anyone's interested in reaching out to us, you can do that by emailing us at cetrain@isu.edu. You can visit our website at cetrain.isu.edu, or you can call us the old-fashioned way at 208-282-3372. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.